All right, let's set the scene. The Clone Wars are tearing the galaxy apart, and right in the middle of all that chaos, a warrior from a totally different reality, we're talking Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans, gets ripped from his universe and dropped onto a battlefield. Now, this isn't just some fun crossover. Oh no, this is a head-on collision between two fundamentally different power systems.
Forever, the Jedi and the Sith have seen the universe through just one lens. The Force, right? It connects everything, it guides everything, it is everything. So the big question we're tackling here is, what happens when something shows up that plays by a completely different set of rules? What happens when destiny runs into a warrior who just flat out refuses to be bound by it?
So, our story kicks off on the crystal world of Christophesis. And this is where we see the real problem, the basic friction between these two energy systems. See, the Force is like this universal web. It connects all life. But Vegeta's power, his ki, it's more like an internal engine, a sovereign flame that is his and his alone. They can, punch each other, but on a spiritual level, they just can't connect. And this chart really breaks it down for us. The Force is external. A Jedi is basically a channel for it, borrowing it from the universe. Ki, though, that's all internal. A Saiyan generates it, refines it, and owns it completely. So you've got this nearly infinite shared cosmic ocean on one side, and this powerful, personal, but finite wellspring of energy on the other. This right here is the absolute best way to think about it. A Jedi is a conduit. If you cut them off from the Force, they're just a person with a laser sword. But a Saiyan is a sovereign. Even in this completely alien galaxy, Vegeta's power is still his. He is the source.
Now here's a crucial point. He's not immediately at 100%. The new atmosphere, the different spatial constants of the Star Wars galaxy, it throws him off. His ki control feels a little sluggish, kind of like he's operating at only 85% efficiency. But come on, we're talking about a Saiyan here. His biology is basically a self-optimizing machine, and it's already starting to adapt.
Okay, so let's flip the script. From the Jedi's perspective, Vegeta's arrival is just unsettling. It's this massive presence that their most fundamental sense, their connection to the Force, it just can't get a read on him.
Anakin Skywalker really says it best. When he reaches out with the Force, he doesn't feel nothing. He feels a void. But it's not the cold emptiness of someone who's Force dead. No, it's something else. It's a massive, powerful presence that exists on a completely different axis of reality. He's like a rogue thread in a tapestry woven from a single type of string.
This water around a stone idea is the key to understanding why Jedi tricks are totally useless against him. I mean, think about it. Jedi precognition, mind tricks, even a simple Force push, all of them need the Force to get a grip on a target. But with Vegeta, the Force just flows around him. It can't touch his core. And that makes their greatest tactical advantage completely worthless.
So what does this sovereignty look like in a fight? Well, his biology is basically a weapon system. He can fly, like true flight, no ship, no jetpack. His ki blasts pack more of a punch than a proton torpedo, and his defensive aura, this barrier of pure life force, is so dense he can literally catch a lightsaber with his bare hand. Yeah, you heard that right.
But just when you think he's this completely unstoppable god of war, we get to a huge turning point. Because despite being almost perfectly invulnerable physically, Vegeta is not invincible. And the Sith, always looking for an angle, they find a loophole.
You see, his ki barrier is this incredible physical shield. It stops kinetic energy, it stops plasma.
But the Sith, well, they've spent centuries perfecting attacks that don't care about physical shields. They target something deeper.
Their weapon doesn't even try to break the shield. It just bypasses it and attacks his spirit and his nervous system directly.
And this slide really lays it all out. Vegeta's defenses are built to block physical stuff, but Count Dooku's souped-up Force lightning, that's not just electricity. It's a spiritual attack, a kind of mystical poison. It doesn't need to break the shield because it's operating on a level his ki just isn't designed to counter. This forces Vegeta to rely on one thing and one thing only: pure, raw willpower. And here we have it from the man himself. This is the first thing in this entire galaxy that has caused him real, genuine pain. And in a classic Vegeta move, what's his reaction? Not fear. It's grudging respect. For the very first time, he's found someone who can actually make him work for the win. This new vulnerability, though, it pushes him. And that leads us to the absolute climax on Dooku's homeworld of Sereno.
Pushed by a real threat, Vegeta finally unleashes the true scope of his power, and in doing so, he completely shatters the power scale of the entire Star Wars galaxy.
The Super Saiyan transformation. And look, this isn't just a power-up, it is a 50 times multiplier of his base power. To put that into perspective for you, that's like a single soldier suddenly outputting the energy of a star going nova. The scale of it is it's almost impossible to comprehend.
And this is why it completely breaks the rules of engagement. At Super Saiyan speeds, even a Jedi's precognition is useless. I mean, knowing a punch is coming doesn't help you if your body is physically incapable of moving fast enough to block it. At this level, raw, overwhelming power makes strategy almost irrelevant.
So after he beats Dooku, Vegeta delivers the ultimate insult, and it perfectly captures that peak Saiyan arrogance. He doesn't even kill one of the most feared men in the galaxy. Nope, he keeps him alive, deciding to view the entire Sith Order as his own personal combat simulator, just a way to stay sharp.
So what does this all mean for the galaxy? Vegeta becomes the ultimate wildcard. In a universe where the Force seems to have a plan for everyone, he is a warrior who exists completely outside of that plan. He's this unpredictable variable that even destiny itself can't account for. So let's do a quick recap. What have we learned? A Saiyan's power is their own. It's sovereign and internal. The Force can't get a grip on them, which makes them immune to a lot of its effects. But the dark side found a loophole, a spiritual weak spot that requires a fortress of pure willpower to defend. And when you push a Saiyan far enough, their Super Saiyan power just breaks the entire scale of galactic combat.
And all of this leaves us with one final big thought. The Clone Wars are speeding towards a disaster that seems preordained, guided by the Force and the dark manipulations of the Sith. But now, there's a new piece on the board, one that doesn't follow any of the rules. So the question becomes, in a galaxy that believes itself completely bound by destiny, can one man's unbelievable, indomitable pride be enough to rewrite the stars themselves?